these type of military powers, you can send that kind of force, you can send those kind of jets, you can send those kind of missiles, you can send those kind of bombs, send your planes to also evacuate your United States citizens. That is the message that we want to the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense. We're all Americans. We pay taxes just like everyone else. We need to assure that you protect us when we go abroad. This ain't the first run around the mill. If you look at back in Vietnam, 1975, Lebanon, 76, Iran, 81, Bosnia, 1992, Kosovo, 1999, Iraq War, Libya, Egypt, Syria, Afghanistan, the United States was able to implement to remove their citizens. And as close as from the Iraq Desert Storm, they were able to remove over 500,000, almost close to 500,000 residents out of it, evacuate. They were able to evacuate almost 150,000 in the last 2021 with Afghanistan. Here we have 86,000 United States citizens stuck. Remove them. And it's especially agitating when you consider our greatest ally, Israel, is the one doing the bombardment. With the weapons, with the military, with the guns, with the bombs, with the tanks, with the jets. Tell them, hold off so we can remove our citizens. It's simple as that. Reagan done it, and back in the days, call them, say, hey, you know, stop. Let us get our U.S. citizens out. ACRL is not trying to sit here and interfere with international affairs. But ACRL does stand for the prospect that we are going to protect, or we're going to level the playing field for Arab Americans across this nation. And we're calling upon our Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. We're calling upon our Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, to do the right thing, protect your citizens, which you swore to uphold and do when you took office, here and abroad. You're shipping these military weapons, you're shipping the war might over to Israel. Get your U.S. citizens out. That's the least you can do for your United States citizens. Doesn't matter that they're Arabs or Muslims or whether they're Hispanics or Asians or African Americans. You need to protect each and every individual. That's what you swore to uphold. Now we say, do it. Shoulder your end of the responsibility and get these people out. It's a shame that we have to sit there. We've all been heartbroken with all that we see in Gaza, and we see the bloodshed and the children, the 2/3 of children and women that are being killed, buried under rubble for days. And it's not an easy kill, it's not an easy death. Some of them have to literally burn to death for days before they end their last breath under the rubble. We don't want that to happen in Lebanon. We never want it to happen in Gaza. But we're saying we've seen already what the leadership of the government, of current government of Israel is doing. And it does not look good, folks. It does not look good at all. So we want our government that represents us to make sure that its constituents are protected and be able to sit there and take them out. They could do this. They have the ability to do this. Before, after federal lawsuit that was filed in 2006, finally they sent their ships to the Mediterranean to get these individuals out. We know that right now, currently, we have Australia, Britain, Bulgaria, Canada, Cyprus, France, Germany, Japan, the Philippines, even Portugal has sent people to evacuate, sent their forces to evacuate their citizens. Why is the United States of America not evacuating their own citizens, especially when they are providing the powers that be, the machinery and the war machines to have these individuals bombarded? They could send their warships, they can send contract with third-party contractors, cruise ships, as they've done before, C-17s that could carry up to 800 people to get people out, contract with commercial airline industry. There's a whole number of abilities that they can do to get these folks out. 8 flights a day simply is not going to cut it. We're talking about people's lives. You have to do more, you must do more. We ask that you do more. We're asking and demanding that you do more. We are the United States of America. We should be able to do that very easily. Save your citizens, protect your U.S. citizens, which you uphold, and what you said you were going to do when you took office. I want to turn it over now to Jenna, representing the family on this particular matter.
Hi everyone. My name is Jenna Shaman. I'm a Lebanese American speaking on behalf of my American family stuck in Lebanon. I wanted to thank the ACRL for allowing me to speak today, as I was connected to them to help find a path to help my family evacuate Lebanon due to the Israeli bombardment across the country. I currently have several family members who are American citizens and green card holders who have been trying to leave Lebanon for almost 2 weeks. They have been unable to find flights, or their flights have been canceled. There are no planes that can take them out. Or if they're able to find tickets for flights, their flights are weeks out. They have not gotten any answers from the State Department. They're doing everything they're told and filling out all the necessary paperwork requested, and their requests go unanswered. They are left with their own means of leaving. When reaching out to the U.S. Embassy, they are told that they have to charter their own flights, but again, it's hard to get flights when they're unavailable and outrageously expensive. Some of my family members have been displaced, seeking refuge under one roof, and they are living in an active war zone trying to find safety, but safety is not always promised. My family's situation in Lebanon is not unique, unfortunately. Many Lebanese American families are facing the same atrocities. I frequently talk to my friend whose parents are in a similar situation. They have been displaced 2 times already and are living in a war zone. They are unable to find flights. They're getting the same answer to charter their own flights, and the U.S. Embassy has offered a loan option to pay for the outrageously expensive flights, but again, there are no flights to even purchase to go that route. Lebanese Americans are constantly checking in with their families in Lebanon to see if they're safe and alive, and yet the United States has turned a blind eye on their own people. It makes me wonder if this was another group of Americans, citizens, if the response would be quicker. My family and many families facing this crisis feel like they're being treated as second-class citizens, as we do not get the same treatment as my fellow Americans do. I wanted to thank our state representatives and our officials who have been advocating to help find a way to get our families out, and I encourage our State Department to take immediate action on helping Lebanese American citizens evacuate Lebanon, as they would for any other citizens in similar situations like this. I wanted to thank the ACRL for their advocacy and their work on helping families leave Lebanon, as this is all a collective effort. Thank you so much.
Open it up for questions.
So during the process of this press conference, the White House has reported that a Dearborn man has been killed in Lebanon. His name is Kamal Ahmed Jawad. Can we just get your guys' reactions on this news?
I mean, the reaction is this is absolutely what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of Kamals that's going to end up being dead, out in the thousands. Already we've seen over 2,000 people have been killed, thousands more that have been injured. And the bombings haven't really started to that level of extension we see in Gaza. So we're going to see a lot of these, and this is why we're doing this now. We need them to move. We need them to move quickly to get these citizens out. Obviously, we want all people out of harm's way, but we definitely want our United States citizens and green card holders that have a right to return to the United States to be out of harm's way. That's their duty. That's what they're there for, to defend all people, just not non-Arabs or non-Muslims.
So how does this, further your guys' message? Obviously, it's tragic that a life was lost.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen this every day. There's lives lost every hour. that's going on, and it's gonna only is only going to be agitated considerably more and more and more as time goes on. And I assure you, these flights are going to stop very soon. No one's going to sit there flying, in a war zone and get passengers out like every day, flights. It's going to happen. It agitates. It sends the message home that we've been saying from day one. This is going to happen, and it's going to continue to happen. Not by one or two. It's going to continue to happen. Probably it's going to end up happening to tens of thousands of individuals. These are United States citizens. These are United States citizens that pay taxes, that took an oath, a part and body and social of the United States government. They should not be subject to that kind of brutality. So they can take action, they can take action now, before it gets very bad. We've seen in Gaza, ACRL was able to help so many different families. We had military people. Their mothers were stuck under the rubble. They were stuck under things where ACRL was able to help, where we had to speak with many different government entities, from Egypt, United States government, to Israel government, to help these families to get out. So what we're saying is now, why wait till the catastrophe happens? Why wait? Let's do it now before it actually ends up, we see what's going on. There's no doubt in my mind, they want war, and the government Israel wants to go in and take down whatever they want to take down. But the fact is that United States citizens, green card holders, legal permanent residents should be protected by this government. And that's all we're asking for, so get these people out to safety and out of harm's way.
Nabi, since this is a class action lawsuit, I'm assuming you'll be expecting more people to join this lawsuit. So a two-part question. One, what is the threshold for folks to actually reach out to you and be part of this lawsuit? And the second is, from your experience, how does this all play out?
Yes. Thank you, First of all, ACRL did set up a hotline, all right, for basic, it's called LEV-EVAC, L-E-V-EVAC, E-V-A-C, for 1-877 L-E-V-E-V-A-C, basically for Lebanese evacuation, short. For those individuals that are in harm's way, to sit there and call, and they could leave somebody will answer. If they're not, after business hours, we'll be able to get the message and be able to send them the form to fill out, so we can go ahead and add them to the lawsuit and the class action lawsuit. And the website as well, that's with the ACRL website as well, which is the www.acrlmish.org is the website that they can also reach out. We'll have the forms as well there that they can fill out, where we can add them to the lawsuit as well as address these concerns with the State Department. That being said, for us, listen, what we want is, at the end of the day, is save as many lives as possible. What we want is to get these people out immediately now before it gets really bad. And we feel that, like I said before, after our initial press conference, like we do, whether it be the banking industry, whether it be the first bombardment in 2006, Lebanese and the Israeli conflict, after the press conference, there was hundreds and hundreds, we had 340 plaintiffs, and that's representing many other individuals there. So the class action, the threshold, you can have a few individuals that represents the class. That's what we have here. We have 5 individual plaintiffs. I can assure you, as things move along and as people start to get killed, a lot more are going to join in and address these with their family members. They're going to be crying for help to get out. That's what they're going to. They're going to be clearly making that voice be heard.
I'm sure the lawsuit would have probably been the last resort. You must have reached out to the State Department prior. What did you hear back from them when you brought your concerns to them?
That's why, ACRL does its homework. We do the due diligence. We make sure that, is the State Department doing what it's supposed to do? And it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. When we contact them, it is as if they're just basically saying, where they're acting as a facilitator, again, as a travel agent, basically, to try to facilitate these flights. So these flights, there's, for instance, today we found out when we reached out, there was 80 seats available on so and so, but you had to have whatever, and $9,000 a ticket, and it's just outrageous. You have 80 seats, you have 80,000 people. It just doesn't make any sense. Some are sending to Germany, Turkey, or or Syria, wherever that they can get out. They're trying to get out. So again, just don't talk the talk, walk the walk. You should be doing more than just saying, hey, you can maybe try to catch that flight or this flight, or maybe there's a few seats on this plane, what have you. You need to be using the full force and mighty power of the United States government and their Air Force and military and Navy to be able to sit there and help these individuals get out. We don't expect anything less. And we beg the question is, had it not been Arab Americans or Muslim Americans or just Arab Americans in general, would they act in such slow pace as they are now in this situation? Before we know where it's going, we know what's going to happen, do it now, save lives now. You have a duty to save lives. That's exactly what the complaint calls for. You have to save these individuals' lives now before it gets really, really bad. Oh yeah.
I do want to include that one of the attorneys did contact the embassy today. They indicated that there is no government planned evacuation at this time. I apologize, that was the State Department. More so, there is a crisis application that we need to shed light on, and we need to ensure that people in Lebanon know that this is available. For the mere fact that there's 7,000 individuals already that have completed this intake, just begs the question of why are they not out yet? And a lot of individuals there don't even know this crisis form exists. And a lot of them don't even have the internet to do so. So we need to do better, and we need to ensure that we're working in collaboration with our allies, our State Department, embassy, our federal officials, national and local, to ensure that we're getting everyone on the list and we're getting them out of there as soon as possible.
And again, they basically tell them, fill out this crisis form. Okay, what's next? You fill out this crisis form. Yeah, they're not giving them. The State Department has absolutely no plan to evacuate, no plan basically to help them. Again, they're acting basically as a flight agent, basically, to try to see if they can put them on some flights. That's not enough, especially when you're providing the weapons and the bombs and the military fight for the country of Israel to bombard your own citizens. It's not enough. It's simply absolutely lacking. You've got to do more. Take them out. Take them out immediately. Use all your forces and resources to sit there. You say, Israel has a right to defend itself. Absolutely. Well, we have, the United States citizens have a right to be evacuated by the U.S. government. Why is it that they're not making that first priority? Why is it that a number of other nations around the world have taken action, and yet the U.S. government is the one last, and they don't even have a plan in place? On our last lawsuit, we said during Gaza, what's the plan? What are you doing? Is there a plan in place to get United States citizens out? But, we just send weapons. We just send bombs. It's a shame. We're very disappointed at what this administration, what this government is doing. We need to take action in order to protect these United States citizens and green card holders so they can get out of harm's way and be made whole, be returned to the United States, away from harm's way.
Just to clarify some numbers, you said 86,000 Lebanese Americans are in Lebanon right now, but they're across the state. They're not only from Michigan, correct?
No, across, just U.S. citizens.
Right, and then the 7,000 people that have done the intake, they're from Michigan, or they're
No,
just...
that's just U.S. citizens that basically are aware of the intake. And again, I don't want to give as much credit as the State Department. All it is basically just kind of information. You sign up on their thing, they just give you information as to what's going on, as to this, and that. There's no plan of evacuation in place by the State Department. And it's a shame.
Do you know how many Michigan families are in Lebanon right now?
I don't. I would assume that's going to be a large number of them from Dearborn Heights, which as you know, for us, the largest concentration of Arab Americans, especially Lebanese Americans, are here from the state of Michigan. Yeah, as well. And the congressional, our congressional representative here, Rashida Tlaib, U.S. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, has approximately 140 families have already reached out to for her help on that in this district.
How large do you anticipate this class action lawsuit becoming?
I would anticipate probably being well over 500 or 1,000 plaintiffs as this word gets out, because we're going to have a lot of, all of this will be published on social media and on our channels and emails and what have you, and the word gets out very quickly, especially when the flights stop. When the flights stop, I can assure you, the numbers are going to go up considerably. People want to get out.
Who exactly is named as defendants in the complaint?
There's a number of Baydoons. Yeah, sorry, please. There's Kamal Baydoun, Randa Baydoun, Sally Baydoun, Farah Baydoun, and Fatima Baydoun.
And how do you ultimately hope that this lawsuit helps get family members out?
Well, we hope that the State Department and the Secretary of Defense takes action. That's one of the things at the end of the day we're asking. We're saying that take action. One of the three demands is the injunctive relief, asking them to take action to put in place an evacuation plan that you can actually take these individuals out. There's, I think the military does it every day. I mean, with their C-17s, they have a rescue operation. They go in, steep down real quick, people on the plane take them right out. You know, they can do that. In addition to other sources, would be cruise ships, would be private, airlines or private cruise ships, private naval, they can do all of that.
I have a question just to clarify. I just want to clarify something. When we're talking about the people who are affected, who we want to bring home, we're talking about U.S. citizens and green card holders, which are two different things, because if you were a green card holder, you wouldn't be a citizen, I'm imagining. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, again,
then what are the numbers for each category? Because I think we're lumping them together, but they're two different things.
Yeah, no.
It's not important, but we just want to clarify so we're accurate.
Well, yeah, no. There is approximately 86,000 U.S. citizens, probably even more in green cards. So we're talking just U.S. citizens, but we believe that green card holders as well have a lawful right to return. I remember when I saw the Trump administration, when they tried to ban individuals that had green card holders to come back in the United States, who were successful in getting a permanent injunction back in there when Trump was president. But yeah, it's U.S. citizens that are basically, we believe that there's probably way more than over that number, the 86,000 number, that are also green card holders. That green card holders have a right to return. They're permanent residents, legal permanent residents of the United States. They have a right to come back, just like U.S. citizens do.
Right, so we don't have an exact number of the green card holders?
And not at the moment.
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
But I would anticipate, if you add them all up to that, it's going to be more than 86,000 U.S. citizens.
Okay, so 86,000 of each.
No, 86,000 U.S. citizens. We're not exactly sure about how many green card holders are also Lebanese Americans.
Okay, thank you.
Many countries in France and America, they try to stop the war, stop the ceasefire. But we seen Netanyahu's government, doing everything to continue with the war. Matter of fact, Hezbollah and Nasrallah, they agreed to ceasefire the day before they killed them. And when they know he agreed to ceasefire, he killed them. So the war could expand and expand for a lot of personal reasons for Netanyahu. What action we could take now? The State Department, they just listen. And I don't think they're doing anything. They don't have no pressure on Israel or anything that could do to get the U.S. citizen, the Lebanese U.S. citizen out of Lebanon. What action, that real action we could do, and very fast, because the war is expanding. What action we could do very fast?
Thank you all. I mean, listen, Wally, it's a sad day in our government when our president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, is asking for a ceasefire.
And nobody
He's
listens.
asking for a ceasefire.
And nobody listens.
Yet you're providing all these weapons. It's a shame. It's really a shame. It's a disappointment to all, I think, all Americans that, we shouldn't be asking, we should be demanding. That's first. Second, as to that, Wally, again, we're trying not to interfere with international affairs. What we're doing is that, listen, we have a mission here as ACRL to protect and educate and level the playing field for Arab Americans across this nation. And our position is that get our U.S. citizens, get our green card holders out of harm's way, and allow them to return and have a plan in place. Talk to your greatest ally, tell them don't keep bombing on them, and allow those individuals to return before you do what you have to do. Any more questions? Thank you all for coming out. Please, if you just leave either your phone number or your email so we can forward to you the copy of the complaint if you want to see a copy of it. Thank you.